Hey everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace and a pair of earrings today, and I'm going to use some of the beads that came in the most recent bargain bead box, the one for June 2025. It's called the Tranquil Tides Collection. I have a coupon code for the bargain bead box. It's Teresa2, and I'll put it on the screen here and in the description box below, along with a link to the page to sign up for the subscription if you're interested. The coupon will save you $2 off your first box if you sign up. But before I get started, I wanted to tell y'all that I have put together some grab bags of beads and listed them on my website for sale. I have a lot of extra beads left over from the subscription boxes that I never am able to find the time to get around to using. I had been trying to list them on my website like individual strands, but I can never find time to do that. So I decided it would just be easier and quicker to just put them together in some grab bags. They're not at all curated. They're very, very random. But I tried to make sure that all the bags have the same things in them, like they all have glass beads, check glass beads, gemstones, full strands of beads, loose beads, big beads, little beads. And all of them have a few findings in them. Not a whole lot though, because I don't have nearly as many extra findings as I do beads. And I was careful when I packed them. I weighed them as I went, and I made sure they all weigh a pound. So it's a pound of beads in each grab bag. And when you go to my website, when you click on it, and I'll put a link in the description box below, of course, they're on the first page. The section says Teresa's grab bags, and the first picture you see is just the bag packed, and then if you click on that, it'll take you to the next page, and there's another picture where I've got everything that's in that particular bag laid out on the table. So hopefully you can see what's in each bag and pick which one you want. I tried to get as close a picture as I could so that you could see what's in there, but I couldn't get a real close picture because a pound of beads is quite a bit. So I just wanted to let you all know about that in case you're interested in maybe buying some of those grab bags. So in here I have the 8mm crystal faceted round beads in Magma AB that came in the box. And here I have the 8mm blue spot jasper beads that came in the box. And here I have the spacer beads that came in the box. I think they were called spacer beads. And here I have the seahorse charms that came in the box, some of them, 3 of them. And here I have the 3 of the links that came in the box. I have an 8mm jump ring, some 6mm jump rings, and a lobster clasp from my stash, and some 4mm jump rings. I have the 2 of the ear wires that came in the box. I have a couple of pieces of the chain that came in the box, and then I have another piece of chain from my stash that has some larger links that I'm going to use as a extender chain. I've got a round ring from my stash that I'm going to be using. I've got some pieces of 22 gauge German style wire and some eye pins and 1 ball head pin. And I'm going to be using all the regular jewelry tools that I always use, and I've got my little New Orleans shot glass to put my wires in when I cut them off. I think that's everything. I'll try to find links and put links to everything I'm using in the description box below, everything that didn't come in the box. So hold on, I'll get some of this out of the way and I'll be back. Okay, I've got some of my beads out here, and this is what I'm using for my necklace. I've got 6 of the crystal, the Magma 8mm crystal beads, and then I've got 10 of the jasper beads, and I've got 6 of the coin beads. They're called coin beads. I looked it up. They're not called spacer beads. They're called coin beads. I've got a couple of them. I'm going to make some wire wrap links, and I've already made a couple because I was testing it out, trying to figure out the spacing and how I wanted to arrange everything and all that. So I'm just going to make some wire wrapped links. I've got some of my pieces of 22 gauge German style wire and copper. I'm using copper. And I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to go down. These are about 3.5 inch pieces of wire. I'm going to go down about 1 inch. Bend the wire over to 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers and put them in the crook of the bend. Round nose pliers facing me. I'm going to bend the wire back until it hits the pliers. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Take the short piece of wire under until it hits the bottom of the tool. And kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. Like that. Now I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this short piece of wire down, and I'm going to push this piece of wire forward a little bit. Or up, I guess. Until it's coming out of the center of my loop. And I'm going to take the short piece of wire and wrap it around the long piece of wire 3 times. And I didn't get that tight enough. That's ugly. See if I can fix it. There. Pull on it with my pliers. Okay. Now I'm going to take my cutters. I'm going to cut off my extra wire. And I'm going to take one of my beads, one of my crystals here. Doesn't matter because I'm going to be doing all of these. And I'm going to take my pliers and go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle. And the reason I always say to go to the very tip of the pliers is because that way I'll be sure to get 3 wraps at the top just like I've got at the bottom. If you go further than the tip, you might end up getting 4 wraps, which of course wouldn't be the end of the world. But so I'm going to put my round nose pliers in the crook with the bend, round nose pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, take this piece under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop, bring this part down, push this part up. I'm going to take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. And I know I've got probably way more wire than I actually need here, but I always like to have plenty. Probably could get away with 3 inches of wire instead of 3.5 like I've got here. I'm just going to wrap till there's no more room to wrap. Now I'm going to take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and tuck in the little burrs that's left from where I cut off the wire. There's another one. And then I'll do one more, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. I'm just going to make links out of all these. I'm going to connect them together with jump rings. I've found that they don't get tangled up in each other hardly as bad if you connect them together with jump rings than if you connect them directly to each other. So I'm going to go down about 1 inch, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the tool, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, the short piece of wire under here until it hits the bottom of the tool, kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the wire. I'll take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop, bring this part down, push this part up. I'll wrap the short piece of wire around the long piece of wire 3 times. Take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. Take one of my jasper beads, put it on here. Take my pliers, go to the very tip of the pliers, bend the wire over at a 90-degree angle, around those pliers and put them in the crook of the bend, around those pliers facing me, bend the wire back until it hits the bead, rotate the pliers till they're facing the table, this part under until it hits the bottom of the tool. Kink the wire back until the loop is centered over the bead. I'll take my bent chain nose pliers and hold on to my loop. Bring this part down, push this part up. I'll take my other pair of bent chain nose pliers and start to wrap. Just wrap till there's no more room to wrap. And I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire. I'm going to take my crimping pliers. I forgot to say when I did that the first time, but I like to use these crimping pliers with the half circles at the end there to tuck in the burrs when I cut off wire. I'm going to tuck in my little burrs. So I'm just going to do that with all these, and when I get all that done, I'll be back and we'll put it all together. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got all my links made, and I know everything's really far away. But as you can see, this is going to be a really long necklace, and I had to pull it up really high so that you all could see how I've got everything laid out here. I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this together, and then I'm just going to put it together off camera because I don't expect y'all need to watch me open and close jump rings, and there's so much here, it would be hard to keep it all on the screen while I'm doing it anyway. So I'm going to use a 6mm jump ring to connect each side of my necklace to my ring here, because this ring is kind of thick and I didn't know if a 4mm jump ring would do it. So I'm using 6mm jump rings to connect my two sides, and then another 6mm jump ring to connect this link to my ring. Then I'm going to use two 4mm jump rings to connect my little seahorse. I have to use two to get him to lay the way I want him to because of the way the loop is. It's not flat like that. It's like that, and if I don't use two, he'll hang that way, and I want him to hang sideways like that. And then the rest of the way, I'm going to use 4mm jump rings to connect all the rest of it. So I've got on one side of jasper bead, my link, another jasper bead, a crystal, 3 jasper beads. This is obviously an asymmetrical necklace. So I've got the jasper bead, the link, a jasper bead, a crystal, 3 jasper beads, a crystal, a jasper bead, and then 3 of the coin beads. On this side, I'm going to do a jasper bead, a crystal, a jasper bead, a link, a jasper bead, 3 crystals, a jasper bead, and the 3 coin beads. So that's how I've got it laid out, and that's how I'm going to put everything together, using all 4mm jump rings, except I'm putting my two sides together, or connecting my two sides to my ring with 6mm jump rings, and this link with a 6mm jump ring, and then my little seahorse with 2 4mm jump rings. So I'm going to get all that done, and when I get all that done, I'll come back and we'll put the chain on it and everything. So I'll be back. Okay, I've got it all put together now, and again, I know it's very far away and probably hard to see, but it's very long, and even though it's very long, I'm going to put a little bit of chain on it because I like this chain and I think it's pretty. I'm sure the necklace doesn't need any chain, but I've got a couple of inches of chain here that I'm going to put on it. But first I'm going to put my camera down so I can get closer and see in the camera better, and y'all can see what I'm doing better, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to put my chain on here now. I've got a 4mm jump ring. I'm going to open it up and put my chain on this side. And then another 4mm jump ring. And put my chain on this side. And now I'm going to take another 4mm jump ring. and put my lobster clasp on that I forgot to get out. Put it on this side of my chain. And now I have an 8mm jump ring. I'm going to put on this side of my chain. And just in case it's not long enough, I'm going to put a little bit of extender chain on here. It's a couple of inches, I think. So that's all that. Now I'm going to make a little dangle to go off my extender chain. I've got a ball head pin. This is a little short ball head pin, a lot shorter than the ones I usually use. And it's stiffer than the ones I usually use. So I'm going to do a simple loop instead of a wrapped loop. So I'm going to go a little bit above my little coin bead here. Bend the pin over at a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go to the tip of the pin, make sure there's nothing sticking out here. And I like to go pretty far down on the barrel to start my loop. And then I go up to the tip to finish my loop. Make sure to get it closed really well. And now that I got it closed really well, I'm going to open it and put it on my extender chain. And then close my loop back. Probably would have been easier to open the link of the extender chain. There we go. And there's my little dangle. And there's my very, very long necklace. So hold on, I'll get my stuff together and make a little earring. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to make a little earring now. So I've got a couple of eye pins here. I'm going to put my jasper bead on my eye pin. I'm going to make some simple loops again. And I'm so not good at simple loops, but I'm going to go a little bit above the bead. I don't want to crack my bead. Bend the pin over at a 90-degree angle. Take my cutters and cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go to the end of the pin like I did before. Roll back my loop. And my loops are never facing the same way when I do this. I always have to take 2 pairs of pliers and straighten them up. That one was not off as bad as they usually are. And now I'm going to open my loop. And put my other eye pin on here. Guess I didn't open that far enough. Close my loop back. Now I'm going to put my crystal on here. I'm going to make another simple loop. A little bit above the bead. bend over at a 90-degree angle. Cut off and leave about 1/4 of an inch of the pin. And take my round nose pliers and roll back a loop again like I did before. Straighten my loops up. It's not a very good loop. See if I can make that a little bit bigger. So there's not that much space between the loop and the bottom of the bead. Open it up and close it back again. Okay, now I'm going to I've got a 4mm jump ring here. I'm going to open it up and put my little seahorse on here on the side that has the crystal. Close my jump ring back. Now I think I'll open this loop up here and attach it to my ear wire. Sometimes I have a hard time opening these loops that have the ball on them. The ball falls down in there when I open the loop on the ear wire, so I think since I can, I'll just open my loop up here and thread it on instead. Close my loop back. So there's my little earring. So I'm going to make the other one off camera, and then when I come back I'll see if I can get all this laid out where y'all can see it. I don't know if I can or not, but I'll try. So I'll be back. Okay, I think I've got all of this very long necklace that I have made in the picture using some of the beads and findings from the June 2025 bargain bead box called the Tranquil Tides Collection. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to the box and you decide you want to be, that coupon will save you $2 off your first box. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and watched my videos and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry, and I also have some grab bags of beads that I put together for sale on my website in case you're interested. I'll put a link to it in the description box below, along with a link to my Facebook, Instagram, and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.